Here we are at London Zoo and it's manic!
My group and Sammy's group.
Penguins. While we have a little bit of a feed, so if you're around the area, do come on down and join us. Anyone in the crowd with pre-booked Meet the Penguin experience tickets, after the talk, you congregate up by the white telephone box. Just on the left-hand side of Penguin Beach. That'll be super duper. We'll be starting in a few minutes' time.
The keeper. Oh, they're heaven.
Where did he come from?
He was there all the time. I'm pointing up to you.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Penguin Beach. My name's Andy. I'm one of the presenters here at the zoo. Today I'm joined by our fantastic keepers who are going to be giving our penguins a little bit of something to eat while I tell you all about them. First, before we go any further, can we just have, as loudly as you possibly can, a nice cheer from everyone. It loves penguins! That'll do. Now, if you do like your penguins, you are in absolutely the right place because Penguin Beach is the biggest penguin pool in the whole of England, and with just over 80 individual penguins, we've got the biggest penguin colony in London. There's not many penguin colonies in London, but this is the biggest one. So if you like your penguins and you're in London, this is absolutely the right place to be. And we are home to the magnificent Humboldt penguin. Now in the wild, you'll find these guys in the coastal regions of Peru and Chile. They're nice and easy to identify. They've got big pink circles around their beaks and they've got big black sashes across their bellies. And they are one out of 18 species of penguin. They come in lots of different shapes and sizes. So, the biggest penguin you'll find out in the wild is the emperor penguin, and an emperor penguin stands about 4 feet tall, which is about that, so you can quite easily put your arm around one and give it a cuddle. And the very, very smallest penguin out in the wild is only a dinky little thing. It's only this big, it's a foot high, and it's called the fairy penguin. Bless its little heart. And they live out in Australia. Now our penguins here at Penguin Beach, these guys are what you scientifically refer to as average. These are your kind of bog standard penguins. But they do get bigger, they do get smaller. Now, there are quite a few myths and there are quite a few misconceptions about penguins I'm going to try and dispel for you. And the first one of these is that all penguins live in very cold, very snowy, very icy places. If I said to you the word penguin, probably the first thing you'll think of is snow and cold and ice and Antarctica and all sorts of things like that. Now, you do get penguins in cold, snowy, icy places like Antarctica, but actually the majority of species of penguin, will you be quiet? The seagull's ruining it. Now, oh, it listened. Now, you do get penguins in cold, snowy, icy places like Antarctica, but actually the majority of species of penguin live in very, very hot places. Places like Peru and Chile. You get black-footed penguins on the beaches of South Africa. And remember, our tiny little fairy penguin lives out in Australia. The only rule you've got to remember with penguins out in the wild is they all live in the southern hemisphere. So you've got the equator running around the middle of the world. All wild penguins are going to be underneath that. So you never see a polar bear and a penguin together out in the wild, but wherever your penguin is, and however tall your penguin is, they're all going to be eating the same type of food. Now I'm going to count down from 3. After 3, I want you all once again as loudly as you possibly can to shout out what penguins like to eat. 3, 2, 1. Fish! Yes, you're absolutely right. Give yourselves a pat on the back. They do love to eat fish. It makes them about 80% of their diet. The other 20% made up of little crustaceans, little crabs. Some are called krill, which is like a small shrimp. But the majority of their diet is made up of fish. And each one of our penguins gets through about 30 fish each every single day, which is a colossal amount of fish. When you consider they've only got little bellies, they can't make mushy peas or anything like that to make them nice. They just have to troll through it completely raw. But luckily, that's exactly how penguins enjoy their dinner. Now, if you look towards the front end of Penguin Beach, you'll see we're chucking fish into the water. Now, there's a very good reason for doing this. This is to encourage some natural diving behaviour in our penguins.
Yeah,
obviously, out in the wild, penguins do dive into the water to catch their fish. And they're incredible divers.
Did he get you? Did he get you?
Every single species of penguin can dive at least 100 metres. And actually the biggest ones, the emperor penguins, they can dive down as far as 500 metres, or half a kilometre. So they're very well adapted to spending long periods of time down in the water. They've got all sorts of funky little bits and bobs around their bodies that help them do this. Now the first one, and probably the most obvious one, are their feathers. They are covered in feathers because they are birds. Now, this confuses a lot of people. And it is confusing because they spend most of their time in the water and they can't fly. but they are still birds, so they are covered in feathers. Now they have two different layers of feathers. They have an inner layer, which is like a nice warm downy fluff layer, like a fleece, and they have an outer layer, which is a tightly interlocked layer that stops the water getting in. So the penguin can spend a long period of time down in the water, staying nice and warm, staying nice and dry, but also staying nice and safe. If you look at our penguins here at the beach, you will notice they've all got black backs, they've all got white bellies. If you look at any penguin anywhere in the world, you'll notice they all have black backs and they'll have white bellies. Now this is a very special type of camouflage called counter shading. I appreciate it doesn't look like it works. You can see our penguins very easily. There's one. But if you imagine yourself out in the wild, if you imagine you're a 100-killer whale swimming through the sea looking for a delicious penguin to eat, and the penguins are swimming underneath you, you're going to look down at the black back. Now the black back is going to blend in with the deep, dark, murky depths of the ocean. Similarly, if you're swimming through the sea looking for delicious penguins to eat and they're swimming above you, you're going to look up. You're going to look up at the bright white belly. The bright white belly is going to blend in with the bright surface of the water. So the penguin becomes effectively invisible as it's swimming through the sea, so its colouring, very, very important. So they've got their feathers, they also have their wings. Once again, penguins are birds, they have wings, they can't fly. However hard they may flap, they will never take off. They use their wings to get through the water at speeds of up to about 15 miles an hour. I appreciate that doesn't sound that impressive, but bear in mind that's in water. That means a penguin can do a length of an Olympic swimming pool in about 7 seconds. Human record's about 21 seconds. So it gives you a good sense of how well adapted they are to moving quickly through the water. They can turn really quickly as well.
Oh, the seagull is dived in.
So, they have their feathers. They have their wings. Now, they also have their beaks. It is very, very tempting, and I know it's very tempting, to leave the edge of Penguin Beach to try and reach over the glass, give one of our penguins a little bit of a stroke on the top of the head. If you're planning on doing this, I'd recommend that you don't, because you'll leave when you've been able to count to 9. These beaks are incredibly sharp. If you imagine trying to swim through the sea, trying to catch a fish, that's a very difficult thing to do with your face. So go really sharp beak, that's like a spear, spears through the fish, and inside the beak is a tongue covered in spikes. That comes out, grabs the fish, holds it down for a lovely, tasty treat. So all penguins out in the wild have these different adaptations. I'll tell you a little bit more about the penguins we've got here at Penguin Beach. As I said before, every single penguin you can see is a Humboldt penguin. Now in the wild, they live in huge groups and they live in burrows. So if you look towards the back end of Penguin Beach, you see all these little tubes, all these little pipes going to the rock there. These are our penguins' burrows. Down there are their nests. So when we hit breeding season, they pair off, head down there and begin to breed. And every single season, they'll go back to the same partner. Very romantic animals, the penguin. Now if you look very carefully at our Humboldt penguin bellies, you might notice they've all got little black dots on their bellies. And if you look very carefully at their bellies, you might notice they've all got different black dots on their bellies. This is exactly the same as our fingerprints. Every one of us has different fingerprints. Every Humboldt belly has different black dots, which is very useful because it means you can tell them apart. Very difficult thing to do otherwise. So these are the penguins we've got here at the zoo. As I said, that is 1 out of 18 species of penguin, but all 18 face a huge threat out in the wild, and that is plastic. Now every single year, we produce about 300 million tonnes of plastic. Give you an idea of how heavy that is. That's about the same weight as 170,000 blue whales. All that gets produced every year, all of it gets chucked in the sea, all of it takes about 450 years to break down. It ain't disappear, let's just get smaller. So it's a huge problem. It's estimated that by 2050 there'll be more plastic in the ocean than fish, which is a very scary thing indeed, but we are part of a campaign trying to combat this. So One Less campaign, trying to encourage people to use less plastic, particularly single-use plastic water bottles. So if you want water here at the zoo, you can get it in fully recyclable little cans. We've got water fountains dotted about as well, so you can refill any bottles you already have. But anything you can do to reduce the amount of plastic you use on a day-to-day basis, even by a small amount, will make a massive difference to the chance of survival of animals like penguins out in the wild. That brings me to the end of my little introduction to our penguins here at the beach. I'm going to hover around over by the gates here. So if you've got any questions about penguins, do feel free to come on over and ask. As I said before, if you are a pre-booked Beat the